Ready to break out of that daily grind, traffic jams, and gray cubicle existence and discover what's really important and meaningful in life? Like unspoiled open country and mountains, clear water rushing streams, snow-capped mountain peaks, wildlife, relaxing with family and friends and surrounded by natural beauty in all directions. Well then, grab your family and friends and head to South Central Montana, where not much has changed since the first settlers arrived. And that may be one of the best things about this guest ranch getaway. Welcome to Hawley Mountain Guest Ranch in McLeod, Montana. Serene and tranquil, and known for its exceptional fly fishing, this region was chosen as the backdrop for the 1992 movie A River Runs Through It. Although the ranch dates back to 1917, when the Jarrett family purchased the ranch from Tom Hawley, who first homesteaded the property in the late 1880s, the earliest inhabitants date back over 11,500 years ago, as tribes of prehistoric man dwelled on the property. Later, Crow Indian tribes settled on the property, and during your week's stay, owner Rod Jarrett will share a fascinating presentation on artifacts discovered right here on the ranch and recovered from a 1972 excavation by Montana State University.
And my great-grandmother tells me the story that Tom Hawley told them that there was gold on Hawley Mountain. But it was too old and blind to show them where it was. So it's still there. Have screens in the bottom, they screen most of the dirt that they dug up. That's looking back up this way. Again, this area here is tree covered and this area here is tree covered.
But what's a week at a guest ranch like? Well, we're glad you asked. When you arrive, you'll settle into warm and rustic accommodations and take in all the peace and serenity surrounding you at the ranch. The focal point of the week's activity is the main lodge, a warm and restful place where tasty and nutritious meals are served. Friends and family can share and compare notes of the activities they've done during the day and just hang out and admire the spectacular views of Hawley Mountain and the Boulder River. Or watch the horses lope through the lush pastures for the evening. The lodge is built on a high rocky bluff offering spectacular views of the surrounding mountains. And interestingly enough, part of the rock boulder the lodge is built on extends into the main lodge. The meals are lovingly prepared by the kitchen staff and you'll never go away hungry. you hear them ring the dinner bell, you'll know it's time to eat. As the morning sun comes up on the Montana mountains, as it has for centuries, the wranglers bring in the remuda from their night's pastures. As many times as the guests may see the horses come in or get turned out for the night, this sight never gets old. After a hearty breakfast, slip on your boots and make your way to the corral, where the wranglers will carefully match you with the horse well suited to your riding abilities. So if it's been a while since you've been on a horse, not to worry. The trails you'll ride explore the surrounding mountains, streams, and high pastures, and you'll ride some trails that may have been ridden by the earliest Montana settlers. Ranch manager Eric Brady talks about the riding program at the ranch.
Well, our horse program up here, it's something that, I guess a lot of other ranches kind of do it. We pair the rider to the horse based on a skill level. We get a lot of first-time riders that come up to the ranch, or those who haven't ridden in 25, 30 years, and they are comfortable around them but don't have that experience to go out and get on a green horse or something. So we'll put that rider on a horse that is going to take care of them for the week. Our terrain out here is a little rockier than most places that would be maybe down the valley. We're able to climb pretty steep areas that I wouldn't even think about bringing a horse up from sea level up here and try going to places that we go to. There's a lot of rocks and that kind of stuff, but the horses have been doing it for years. This is their job. They pretty spoiled horses, in my opinion, for what they have to do for work. They work 4 months out of the year, and the rest of the year they're off. And so it's not too bad of a lifestyle for them. But they're good at what they do. We pick the ones that work, and if they don't work, usually we find a different home for them and find a horse that will work out for us. Our guests are happy with that. They're very pleased with the horses, and we get people that have horses back home that come out and want to ride up here, and will come and ride our horses for a week, and by the end they're absolutely in love with our horses. And that says a lot to us. It means a lot to us that our horses are that good. So our location's very unique because we sit in the Boulder Valley, right along the Boulder River. And there's wilderness. We are surrounded by wilderness and hiking trails and access points, either to the north or south of us. So it kind of gives us an area where we could pick a direction and just go for the day almost, and we would see new country. None of our rides, we try not to repeat our rides unless someone absolutely falls in love with that ride and wants to do it again. But some of the locations we go to, we'll ride down along the Boulder River. There's a canyon just to the north of us, and we'll ride through our pasture and go down, drop down into the canyon, follow the river. There's another points out here. We have about 150 acres private land pasture that the horses go through, so we got nice little meadow meanders to get the guests acquainted with their horses and comfortable with riding. And then we also got rides that go up back into the mountains, and there's all sorts of neat valleys that people you wouldn't even know were there unless you got off the road and rode. We have a ride that we call our all-day ride, and it goes up to where our hunting camp is, and we'll have lunch up there. And it's a spot that very few people go to, and you hardly run into anybody when you're up there. It's breathtaking when you get up there. Some of the guests think the ride's brutal, but it's definitely worth it when they get there. They enjoy it when they come back to the ranch, and the scenery and just everything that's up there is just absolutely amazing. It's breathtaking.
During the week, guests will enjoy a cookout and have dinner around a roaring campfire. And we all know, steaks just taste better cooked over an open fire.
Wow. Pretend you're in Montana.
What did I do this morning? I went down to the river.
After dinner, the Wranglers will teach the youngsters how to rope Norman. Or you can work it off in a spirited game of tug-of-war.
Yeah. Come on, Dot! All right, it's over.
Or volleyball. Or the ever-popular sack races and three-legged races.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
or cap off dinner with some roasted marshmallows and s'mores.
I would say the feeling of family. Being welcomed here and feeling right at home with everyone, eating together with the staff and everyone else really gives it a hometown, small town family feel. This is our first time at a horse ranch. We've done cruises, we've done vacations in other states where we've planned our own activities, but this has been an exceptionally good time. I'm not an experienced horseman by any stretch of the imagination, but the wranglers have been fantastic. They've given us enough direction to get us going. They've been very patient teachers. The horses are fantastic, and we have really enjoyed our time here.
Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. Got a world of trouble on my mind.
If fishing is what you came for, an instructor will teach you how to fly fish at the stock trout pond and direct you to some clear water streams to wet some flies and reel in the rainbow, cutthroat, and brook trout that inhabit the Boulder River and surrounding ponds. For some real adventure, the ranch has an Austrian pin scour, all-terrain vehicle which climbs through the trails like a seasoned mountain goat, and on a trip up to the higher elevations in Blue Lake, stops at some of the historic gold mines that dot this region that were the dreams of some of the early Montana gold prospectors. even in July, you'll find some snow in the higher elevations. Now, when was the last time you could build a snowman or make snow angels? In July?
All right. Oh yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Let them have it. Pretend you're at Knoebels.
And if you're fortunate enough to book the week of July 4th, the ranch hosts a spectacular fireworks display, weather permitting, for the guests. Aside from spectacular scenery, great food, incredible fishing and trail riding, perhaps one of the biggest takeaways from a guest ranch vacation are the new relationships people create, as Ron Jarrett explains.
Well, I think one of the things that people get out of it is something different than what we're trying to sell. You know, we're trying to sell the spectacular scenery and the great horseback rides. And what people come back and tell us is that it's the people here that make it. We interact with our guests. We take just a few, you know, roughly 20 people. And by the end of the week, we're all friends. Everybody comes from different directions and they all join together and we're one big happy group. And that's what I see from what people are telling us, how their vacation was. And they have, they enjoy the activities too, of course, and the scenery. Well, all ranches are unique in the place that they're at. You know, and we're sitting here in the middle of this spectacular wilderness area. So that's one of the things that makes us unique. Our 6x6 trip up in the mountains to the gold mining areas and Blue Lake is, I don't know of anybody else that has a ride like that. It gets people off their horse for one day and rest a few sore muscles. And we do other things, you know, we have a float trip for people that might not want to ride all day one day. And all of those trips we guide ourselves. You know, there are other ranches that have fishing and they usually send somebody out with a guide somewhere else. Here we have the fishing right out our back door. And they don't have to go anywhere else. Well, the most memorable is the reunion week. We have a group of people that have been, some of them have been coming here for, you know, close to 20 years, and they all started coming at the same week again every time because they had so much fun together. And we look forward to that week all year. It's in September, and that's a week that we all look forward to. We have another group that's been here, I don't know how many years. They missed 1 year out of 24 or 5, I don't know, 23 maybe, I'm not sure how many years it is. They'll remember and tell us when they get here.
Guests come to Hawley Mountain Guest Ranch from all over the world and from all walks of life, and all leave with memories that will last for a lifetime. But what's the best thing about Hawley Mountain Guest Ranch? Well, we'll let the guests answer that question.
I've never been to one before, and I had such a fabulous time. The food is fantastic, and they truly do treat you like family. It is such a great time. It is so much better than going on a cruise ship. It's very personal, and oh my goodness, Ron and Phyllis, they're like your aunt and uncle. And they feed you. My goodness, you can probably gain about 50 pounds being here for a week.
We didn't have 19 guys.
And the horses are just fabulous. I'm a beginner rider, and after 6 rides, I felt more confident. I'm holding the reins with one hand. I'm sitting up straight. The wranglers are fabulous. They're patient with a newbie like me, and the horses are just great. I had such a fabulous time, and I highly recommend this vacation to anyone. It's such a fabulous experience, and another thing I love about this place is you get disconnected from the world. There are no TVs, there's no cell service. If you need Wi-Fi desperately, you can always come up to the lodge to get it. I highly recommend it and hope that you take the chance and come out here and visit Ron and Phyllis and the whole gang, and you will never regret it.
If you're ready to break away from that daily digital lifestyle, if you're ready for spectacular scenery, wildlife, and clean air, clean water streams, and peace and solitude like you've never experienced, if you're ready to make new friends from all over the world and create memories that will last a lifetime, well then, gather up your family and friends and head to South Central Montana for the experience of a lifetime. Your horse is ready. We'll see you at the corral.